Welcome to Cultural Hours. I'm your host, Linda Powers. Tonight on Cultural Hours... So there is the Verrazano Bridge, which is magnificent from this perspective. We are currently in Bay Ridge, New York, just outside of Manhattan, off the R train, last stop. We're here to interview and meet Ellie of Crystal Links, and very excited. Introducing Ellie of crystallinks.com. Ellie is a psychic, therapist, Reiki master, teacher, author, researcher, lecturer, and broadcaster. You'll find a slew of links, she said about 5,000, to help you and to enjoy.
Crystal Links is a tool now that helps people evolve emotionally and spiritually and physically. It's got over 5,000 files and gets over 1 million hits a day. So there's a lot of people coming in for a lot of different reasons, and it just kind of says, kind of the way I think, that if you like something, fine, stay and read it. If you don't, click off or click to something else. So there's something in there for everybody. It is a free website, and it's just got a consciousness of its own. I just recently found out that it's in the top 10,000 websites.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is wonderful.
That's huge with all the celebrity sites out there and sports sites. That's amazing. Well, I think when I mentioned how every time I go, I find something else I can connect to that helps me for that day, or that just enlightens me. Or there's just all these synchronistic connections with images and theories, and it just expands me. And so when I speak to you, I wanted to find out a little bit about you. How did you get to where you are in terms of your education? I know a little bit about you. I read your bio, but maybe you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you evolved to this state.
Well, 63 years old. It doesn't matter to me, they're just numbers. When I was 5 years old, I know this sounds like a cliche, but when I was 5 years old, I did have a near-death experience, and I purchased her book. Here it is. It's called Sarah and Alexander. It's about a sacred bloodline and the alchemy of time. And I will also be interviewing her to discuss this book at another point, which you can watch and enjoy. So I'm very excited to just talk about your book. I know you have a book that you are, a successful book that you also are turning into a film soon. Okay. Well, there's many things going on in my life right now in terms of media. I've recently been invited to speak at the UN, and that will be in July. On a very important project, and of course with the Da Vinci Code coming out this year, people are very, very interested in Fibonacci numbers and what reality is really about. Last year at this time, more towards September, I was on the Jon Stewart show talking about evolution and creation. There's an awareness that is coming over people on the planet at the current time about there's more to reality than what we know right now. You know, it's not just about our everyday, it's more, it's bigger. You feel it in your heart, and you feel it in your soul, and people are looking for answers.
There are a lot of your theories and answers in your book, in this book?
The book is an adventure, kind of a sci-fi genre, sci-fi, but it follows a bloodline which kind of puts it into a Da Vinci Code type of realm. It's a story of a young woman in this adventure. She has a deadline to stop a time loop. It is a screenplay, and it's with an agent in Hollywood right now. And I started working on this in 1989, just about the same time Dan Brown was working on his book, his first book. It really traces the bloodline from the beginnings of our reality in the Middle East through the European grids, which are France and Germany, It's called the Masonic Program, and it takes us into the Celtic programs of Scotland, Ireland, and then across, of course, the United States, where the Masonic Program has created the reality in which we live. We did a website called crystallinks.com. That's www.crystallinks with one L.com. And it initially just started out as a few files that people could go to research what was important in metaphysics at that time, which was the paranormal, ghosts, and psychic development, things like that. And as we are all evolving in consciousness and all evolving in our thinking, and even the internet is evolving, it became more and more a science website. It has to do with science, technology, quantum physics. There's a lot of science, a lot of meta-science, and they're all merging together because that's the way things are going to be. Of course, I deal a lot also with earth changes and what's going on in the world right now, because the real pulse is about earth changes and what's happening.
The bloodline, is that a DNA that's specific to an individual that you're tracking, or is that something that each individual is a part of and can activate in their evolution?
So, what we're learning about now in metaphysics and science, whatever, everything is coming back to the same source, the same beginning. You know, religion as we know it, not to get into an argument on religion, but traditional religious paradigms are falling apart, as is meant. This is all meant to happen now. People are meant to quest for different types of answers and different types of truths, not traditional religion with a God who's going to save all of this, because we're too aware now. The internet has made us even more aware and increased our knowledge base, and basically we're aware that there's more out there than some god. Like thousands of years ago they believed in the Egyptian gods, or they believed in Zeus in Greece. And of course we also know that all of those gods were played by the same source, because you could trace Zeus to another name, to another name, to another name, like to Quetzalcoatl in the Mayan program, Mayan calendar. See, my work here does have to do with creation as a holographic projected reality. It's based on the patterns of sacred geometry, which is phi ratio, which is consciousness. It's science, it's math. It's got many different, not levels, it's just grids is more to the point.
Right.
And the grids have different kinds of information. To me, it spirals around like a slinky. And your soul, when they say somebody's an old soul, there really is no time. It means if you can visualize a slinky, your soul is experiencing a lot of places on the slinky spiral of consciousness. That would make you an old soul, meaning you're having many experiences. It's, you know, there's a lot of cliche things that came out of metaphysics through the years. Stand this theory. We must listen to the channelers. We must heal our issues. We must do a lot of things. And yet, follow your soul. Follow your consciousness. Follow what you have to do. And you'll find the answers, because the Fibonacci spiral, the phi ratio, is spiraling faster and faster and faster. You have to keep yourself in balance. And Crystal Links is a tool now that helps people evolve emotionally and spiritually and physically.
Go to www.crystallinks.com to learn more about Crystal Links, metaphysics, and Ellie.